start the event, there is a small protocol which I wanted to follow today, because we've had this program is actually dedicated to Pandit Rajanji, who was one of the leading vocalists of India, who passed away 4 or 5 days back. And also unfortunate that today we have Pandit Devu Chaudhary. Uh, 4 hours back, he passed away. So this program is essentially dedicating both these great artists who have worked with SPIC MACAY all along. So with this, I would just request Geeta Srinivasan ji to come on. But before she comes on, I'm going to be telling a few things about Geeta Srinivasan ji, because I think if I tell anything about Geeta Madam, it's a long list. So I'm going to make it as sweet as possible. And welcome Geeta Madam to be our chief guest today. And Geeta Madam is actually a patron of the Intact Nilgiris chapter, and she was also the president of Intact Nilgiris. And the entire family actually have been bestowed with Padma Awards. Her husband, many of you know, is Dr. M.R. Srinivasan, chairman of Atomic Energy Commission, and her daughter Sharada also is a Padma Awardee. So, with these few words, I will ask Geeta Madam to start the program, inaugurate the Great Master Lalgudi Jayaraman's program. Geeta Madam, over to you.
Good afternoon. I would like to thank Dr. Ramesh Vishwanathan, Chairperson SPIC MACAY, Pondi chapter, for inviting me to be the chief guest for the Great Masters series featuring the great maestro, Padma Bhushan awardee Sri Lalgudi Jayaraman, who along with Sri M.S. Gopal Krishnan and Sri T.N. Krishnan formed the violin trinity of Carnatic music and enchanted many a Rasika with their sublime music. Today, I feel very honored that I'm going to introduce the father to the distinguished son, Mr. Sri Lalgudi Krishnan. Really, it's wonderful to see him on the screen. Thank you, sir, for being with us and giving me this honor and this privilege. Looking at the great achievements of Sri Lalgudi Jayaraman, one realizes that like a colossus, he straddled the field of Carnatic music. Like Leonardo da Vinci, he was a true Renaissance personality and had many achievements to his credit, where his prodigious musical talents were displayed. Born on 17 September 1930, in the lineage of a disciple of the great musician Saint Tyagaraja Swami, he was trained very assiduously and strictly by his father, Sri V.R. Gopal Iyer. In fact, anyone who has read his biography, An Incurable Romantic by Lakshmi Devnath, will see that Sri Gopal Iyer was a very strict disciplinarian who saw to it that his son spent every waking minute of his life doing his practice. The result of the sadhana was the lyrical beauty of his sublime music and a unique style called Lalgudi Bani. His composition for dance kritis, tilanas, and varnams were full of raga, bhava, and rhythm. In great demand for accompanying vocalists, he has accompanied all the greats like Sri Aryakudi Ramanuja Iyengar, Sri Semmangudi Srinivasa Iyer, GNB, and other instrumentalists like the flute maestro N. Ramani, and many other musicians too numerous to enumerate in the short time given to me. Not many may know that he was forbidden from accompanying female artists, a promise that he made to his father. Yehudi Menuhin, one of the greatest classical Western musicians, after hearing him at the Edinburgh Festival in 1965, gave him his violin. It was a tribute from one great violinist to another. One of the great services that Sri Lalgudi Jayaraman did to Carnatic music was bringing it to international attention. A member of many cultural delegations of Government of India, He represented our country at many international festivals and performed at many of the major capitals of the world. Representing the festival in India, USA, and London, he gave solo and jugalbandi programs which received rave reviews. He was a composer par excellence and composed lyrics and music for the operatic ballet Jaya Jaya Devi and composed a dance drama Pancheshwaram. The titles received by this great musician are many, so I will only mention only a few. He won the National Film Award for Best Music Direction for the film Shringaram in 2006 and won the Sangeet Natak Academy Award in 1979 and became a fellow in 2010. Awarded Sangeeta Chudamani by Krishna Kana Sabha in 1971, he was appointed State Vidwan for Tamil Nadu by Government of Tamil Nadu. When this great soul passed away on 22nd April 2013, he left a great void in the Carnatic music scene. The Rasikas will never forget his calm, composed, and serene personality as heavenly music flew out of those skillful fingers, an experience that never can be matched. But he left us many disciples in a grand legacy. Foremost amongst them are his children, Lalgudi GJR Krishnan and Lalgudi Vijayalakshmi, who are carrying forth a matchless legacy. They continue to regale music lovers all over the world. One of our most priceless heritage in this country is our Carnatic music, which only now is being given its due recognition. During the season in Chennai, it is jokingly said that while the artists are getting younger, the Rasikas are getting older, which is not a good sign. This is where I'd like to congratulate Dr. Ramesh Vishwanathan and SPIC MACAY for inspiring youth to love their heritage, which in turn will enhance their personalities, their way of thinking, and build up character and integrity. Arranging more than 5,000 programs, touching over 3 million students, SPIC MACAY has done yeoman service to present a cultural tapestry, and today it has become a household name. Because the Rasikas of tomorrow will come from the youth of today, who have to be sensitized to our classical arts. In times of this dreadful pandemic, the digital world has indeed come to our rescue, and one is happy to see that the Great Master series dedicated to late Pandit Rajan Mishra has interesting programs both for today and tomorrow. Finally, I would like to conclude with our own cultural activities in the Nilgiris. The Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan Nilgiris Kendra, run mainly by a band of youthful and dedicated volunteers from Kunur, is doing a great job. We have conducted summer festivals of music and dance for more than a decade. In fact, on 9th June 2019, we had a violin duet by Sangeeta Chudamanis, Sri Lalgudi Krishnan and Lalgudi Vijayalakshmi, which was highly appreciated. We hope with the help of Dr. Ramesh Vishwanathan and SPIC MACAY, we can collaborate on virtual programs in the near future. Thank you once again for inviting me to be part of the Great Masters series. Let us all put our heads together to preserve our great Carnatic musical heritage and inspire our youth to share in this great legacy and preserve it for posterity. Finally, during this terrible pandemic, I would like to say we are safe when everyone is safe. So please keep safe. Thank you.
Thank you, madam, for those kind words. And now I request Pratima Mishra ji to take over. And Pratima Mishra ji and the students will walk us through for about 10 minutes before Krishnan sir starts his journey. So thank you, Geeta madam. And Pratima ji, over to you.
Okay. Namaste, madam, for your nice discussion. Shatabdi, you can start now your program. Shatabdi, hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Please start. All of you, please be there and start. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Start.
Namaskar. I am Ms. Satabdi Tana Rana of +3 third year from Fakirmon Autonomous College, Baleshwar, Orissa, and I am going to moderate this program. With me, my friends from my college and Sisti Academy of Bhubaneswar and Hosur Public School, Chennai, are there to assist me. Before I proceed to this program, I request all to keep mute their audios and videos. A very hearty welcome to all for today's SPIC MACAY program. It is a society for promotion of Indian classical music and culture among youth and has been contributing a lot for youth since 1977. Today we have with us one of the renowned violinists Padma Bhushan G. J.R. Krishnan Ji, Padma Shri Kiran Sethi Ji, founder of Society SPIC MACAY, state coordinators, students from different schools and colleges, teachers and innumerable volunteers of the society in India and abroad. Today we will know about the legendary Padma Bhushan Jayaraman Ji and his work through his son and disciple G.J.R. Krishnan, a legendary violinist of our country. Coming to guest Great Master series, it is an endeavor to know our legendary artists who have been enriched our Indian classical music, art and culture through their immense dedication and contribution. It provides us an opportunity to know about the doyens of Indian classical art forms, our glorious culture and artistic heritage. We are higher. Now, I request Pujali Bhuyan from my college to introduce the great legendary Padma Bhushan Lalgudi Jayaraman Ji to the audience. Over to Pujali. Thank you.
Pujali, your mic is on mute. Please unmute yourself.
Sorry, sir.
Pujali.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Namaskar. Born in the lineage of a disciple of the same musician, Tyagaraja, Lalgudi Jayaraman inherited the essence of Carnatic music from his versatile father, V.R. Gopala Iyer, who trained him. Gopala Iyer, a martinet enforced traits of intense focus and discipline in the young Jayaraman through rigorous lessons. He is commonly grouped with M.S. Gopalakrishnan and T.N. Krishnan as part of the violin trinity. Both his son G.J.R. Krishnan and daughter Lalgudi Vijayalakshmi follow the footsteps of their father and are famous in their own right. He started his career from childhood at the age of 12 as an accompanist for many Carnatic leading musicians before rising as a prominent soloist. He invented a new technique and established a unique style of playing violin that is known as Lalgudi Bani. Also composed several kritis, tilanas and varnams and dance compositions which are a blend of raga, bhava, rhythm and lyrical beauty. He brought the most sought after vocal style into violin and also introduced a new concept of musical ensemble with violin, venu and veena. One of the notable points is that Sri Lalgudi actively and scientifically learned to self-critique his performances and dutifully wrote detailed reviews after each concert, a habit encouraged by his father and guru. He was always in great demand for accompanying vocalist and his accompanied great vocal virtuosos as Ariyakudi Ramanunjan Iyengar, E.N. Balasubramaniam, Madurai Mani Iyer, and many more, including flute maestro and Ramani. He has given many concerts extensively in India as well as abroad, including Russia, USA, Singapore, Germany, Belgium, London, Oman, UAE, Qatar, and Bahrain, etc. The government of India sent him to Russia as a member of the Indian cultural delegation. He was the first to bring international attention to the Carnatic style of violin playing. He composed the lyrics and music for the operatic ballet Jaya Jaya Devi, which premiered in 1994 at Cleveland, Ohio, US. In one instance, he was invited to play in the Edinburgh Festival in 1965. Yehudi Menuhin, the renowned violinist, impressed by Lalgudi's technique and performance, presented him with his Italian violin. Lalgudi presented Menuhin with an ivory dancing Nataraja with Menuhin visited India. His biography, An Incurable Romantic by Lakshmi Devnath, was released posthumously in 2013. For his contribution in the field of Indian classical music, he has been awarded by many musical societies. To name a few, he got Padma Shri by the Government of India in 1972, Sangeeta Natak Academy Award in 1979, State Vidwan of Tamil Nadu by the Government of Tamil Nadu, the Padma Bhushan by the Government of India in 2001, won the National Film Award for Best Music Direction for the film Sringaram in 2006. For his enormous contribution to the field of Indian classical music and unique style of playing violin, he will always be remembered forever.
Thank you, Pujali, for introducing the great master Padma Bhushan Lalgudi Jayaramanji to all of us. Now, I request Kritika from my college to introduce Indian violin player Sri G.J.R. Krishnan, son of Padma Bhushan Lalgudi Jayaramanji. Over to Kritika. Thank you.
Namaskar. Lalgudi Gopala Iyer Jayaraman Radhakrishnan, popularly known as G.J.R. Krishnan, is a Carnatic violinist, vocalist, and composer. Krishnanji was born in Chennai to violin maestro Lalgudi Jayaraman, a postgraduate in commerce and a post and works accountant and a company secretary education. Krishnan has dedicated his life to a career in music. His style, like his father's, is the Gayaka style, closest to vocal rendition. G.J.R. Krishnan typically performs duets with his sister Lalgudi Vijayalakshmi, a violin vidushi. True to his father's legacy, audience can decipher the Sahitya from their performance, whether it is a rendition of Janani Pahi or that of Smarasada Manasa, of Swati Tirunal, or Adamodi Galade of Tyagaraja, or Govardhana Girisham of Muthuswami Dikshitar. G.J.R. Krishnan has performed in many parts of India as well as in New York, Singapore, Amsterdam, USA, USSR, and London, and many more countries. Krishnan's prodigious performing skills and a deep perception of the precious art of Carnatic music have earned for him many prestigious titles and awards and recognition by many organizations and in various forums. He has been awarded with many prestigious awards almost every year right from 1981 onwards. Some of them are Sangeet Natak Academy Award in 2001, Sangeeta Kalasagra Award 2009, Kallai Mamani by the Tamil Nadu Isai Nataka Mandram, Chennai 2006, the title of Sangeeta Chudamani, Chennai 1997, Best Violinist Award, Chennai 1986, and many more awards. Thank you.
Thank you, Kritika. On behalf of our Fakirmon College Baleshwar and whole SPIC MACAY fraternity, I welcome you to sir to this program. Sir, please tell us something about your guru and your father.
Measurable occasion to such young students residing in Orissa and all the other dignitaries. That was a beautiful speech by Dr. Geeta, madam. It was so thorough and complete as a Lalgudi concert would be. Many of the points that I had come prepared with have been covered by the earlier speakers. With my pranams to the departed soul of Rajan Mishra, I start this talk of about 20 to 25 minutes. It is I'm not going to sound redundant. I'm not going to repeat the points that have already been mentioned. The Shishya Parampara of Tyagaraja that we belong to is such a blessing, and to be born as the children of such a legend is again another blessing for me and my sister Lalgudi Vijayalakshmi. The father had received very rigorous and strict training from his father, that is my first guru, Sri Lalgudi V.R. Gopalayar. And my guru was actually uh, my first guru was a bit more lenient. My first guru was Lalgudi Sri V.R. Gopalayar, my grandfather, but my father was a very strict disciplinarian, and it was more of the guru that we saw him because he was living in music, breathed music, and whatever he thought was about music. And it is such a very nice ambience, a blessed ambience, a divine ambience to be in, because without your knowing, by a process of osmosis, the music enters you. You naturally pick up the music. The discussions between my father and the visiting musicians, the other students, those will be very breathtaking and very informative. And though we were very young at that age, to understand all the nuances, those things, those events had a great impression in our musical journey. So I will just go quickly to his role as a guru. He taught all the students without any discrimination, and he offered whatever he knew without any reservation. And he had the phenomenal ability to step down to the level of the student. He could take initial lesson and a complicated Pallavi with same ease. That was his personality. And about the guru, he was always wanting to transmit knowledge at whatever occasion. When we traveled with him in train, he would come up with a Pallavi and ask me to repeat it. And if I attended any concert of his where he accompanied a senior vocalist, after coming back home, he would ask me, what is the korvai, what is the tihai that the main vocalist sang. So every moment he made sure that we were focused and stayed tuned to the music. And a famous quote of his is, he would always say, you practice like a asura, then you can produce Devaganam. Asura sadhakam senja Devaganam kudukalam அப்படின்னு சொல்வார். And he was highly principled, and he would never ask for any opportunities, and even if he did, on the very few occasions he would do it for his students and disciples who are not his children, never for his children, because he believed that we should stand up on our own legs, and that is a blessing indeed. And he took us to Nandi Hills. He was very close to nature. Nature for him, when he saw some beautiful mountain or a lake or a river, it would be speaking to him in swaras, in ragas, in notes. So he would be able to express it. He has done it in many of his compositions, be it as Madhuvanti Tilana or any other Tilana. There would be something inlaid. Coming to the role as a guru, I would like to mention that What is the principle? What is the underlying philosophy? Why did he compose Varnams and Tilanas? This is an oft asked question. He would come up with the answer saying there are umpteen kritis and kirtanams, that is other compositional forms. But Varnams and Tilana, Varnam is a starter and Tilana is towards the end, fag end of the concert. It's a compositional form played. I'm not going to be very technical here. So both these compositional forms involved a great deal of layam and melody, rhythm and melody. So he was able to get that intellectual satisfaction. He was able to derive the satisfaction that a poet would get. Everything that he did was lyrical. When he accompanied several vocalists, generations ahead of him, who belonged to the earlier generation, those were the days when we didn't have any internet. He had the phenomenal razor-like brain, so that just by listening once, he was able to grasp and he was able to reproduce it, not just reproduce it. He would embellish it and reproduce it. So that is his genius. And with this phenomenal genius in him, he did not stop with that. He always practiced till 2006. That is the last year he performed. He started his career in 1942 and till 2006 he performed 65 years. So he knew the value. He was a practitioner. So whatever he preached carried so much of weight and we followed it faithfully. And that's how we were brought up in our lives. And he was such a rasika. He would appreciate anything. He was such an open-minded rasika. He would not want his disciples to listen to one particular genre of music. He would encourage, he would in fact sit with them and listen to ghazals, songs of Ilayaraja sir, Hindustani music, Western music. And such an open-minded person will automatically get inspired. In fact, listening to the Durga Rag of Pandit Ajay Chakrabarti ji, he was so inspired that he composed a Tilana in Raga Durga. And he has openly acknowledged it. As Dr. Geeta ji mentioned, the book of written by Lakshmi Devnath is such an insightful, very objective, without any exaggeration. It brings before your eyes the real picture, the real scene, as though you are living in it. So I would want everybody, each one of you in this session, to buy this book. It is available with us. Incurable Romantic. It comes with a CD wherein you can listen to the music and there are explanatory notes. It is a very beautiful, authentic document which needs to be preserved. It will be an eternal inspiration for people. So that I'm going to touch upon the self-criticism aspect that somebody mentioned here. Yes, that is a practice which he followed right from the day he started performing. He had the vision to view himself as a third person and analyze his own performance and write down notes. I'm going to read out such a self-criticism passage written by him. Obviously it was in Tamil, but I'm translating it for you. It is featured in the book Incurable Romantic. In a concert, after a concert accompanying Sangeeta Kalanidhi legendary Sri G.N. Balasubramaniam, in the year 1949, 10th February, he has written this: play leisurely without any tension. Follow the vocalist closely, always remember that you are there to support the vocalist. While the singer is engaged in improvising a raga, the violinist should take care to see that there are no pauses. The bowing should be continuous and long. One should always be gentle. One should have a sacrificing nature. See, the mind is also involved when you play. So, at such an young age, he was able to recognize that the temperament of the artist is so important for the music. See, these are very fine points. Many a fine point have contributed to his becoming a legend, and his music will be eternal, and it will be an inspiration not only for our own school but for other vocalists and instrumentalists as well. It was totally, his compositions were totally melody based, but with an melody based with an undercurrent of lime, math. Only when you dissect it, you will be able to identify what is hidden. What appeals will be the melody part of it. It will be very easy on the ears, but with many nuances inlaid and with very intricate laya, it is very difficult to render them unless you practice it. So I just thought I've been requested to give some examples also. His compositions have transcended the regional barriers. They are internationally popular, and they have been sung by vocalists of his own time and are continued to be performed and sung. We find even mashups and fusion which involve his composition. I'm just going to play a composition in Raga Yamuna Kalyani. I won't be playing the whole composition. There is an incident attached to this. This is in Yamuna Kalyani, set to 7-beat rhythmic cycle, Misra Chapu, a Tillana. So, the incident, the anecdote attached to this is very interesting. I mentioned that his compositions had international appeal. We had traveled to USSR for the Festival of India. Viji, myself, along with Sri Vellur Rambhadran sir and Sri Nagarajan sir on the Kanjira, we had traveled to Russia, USSR Festival of India, along with my guru and father. And we would perform in various venues. And there used to be one interpreter because Russian language we didn't know. So he would come on every day, in fact, to the hotel and find out if everything was okay. And he won't ring the bell. What he would do is, so he would exactly tap the rhythm pattern of this tilana. So it captivated him. So nobody prompted him to do this. So it is totally spontaneous. So such is the power of his composition. And we are going to listen to a beautiful concert. Already we have seen that Lord Ehudi gifted him with an Italian violin, and he mentioned that when my guru performed in Edinburgh Music Festival, he said that your music transported me to the heavens. It's all found in the book. And mentioning about inspiration that he drew from others, there is an instance where we all went to Maestro Sri Ilayaraja sir's house, and he played for us from a recording a composition in Ragavardhani. Later on, my guru composed, inspired by that Ragavardhani, another composition in Ragavardhani, and he immediately gave the credit to the Maestro Ilayaraja sir. So there are many such instances. I can go on and on, but I would try to stop myself and stay within the time limit. So over to the concert. There was thoroughness in whatever he did. He was a perfectionist, not just for when it came to music, in everything that he did. So I would like Mr. Dr. Ramesh to share a notation to find out how his handwriting was, how meticulous. Dr. Ramesh, can you please, if you're there, share the...
And just give me a minute. Give me a minute.
This is a notation. He published a book, Ganaraga Pancharatnam, 5 compositions of Saint Tyagaraja. So that he wrote the notations himself, and with the limited technology available, the Xerox copies were made, and then it was a film made out of it and then printed. So just a portion it is in Tamil, of course. You can see how.
Just a minute. Can you see?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yes, look at the, I mean, this as good as
Precise.
print, something print. Yes. So thank you, Dr. Ramesh. So everything, he was very empathetic, which is an essential quality for an artist. He was able to gauge what the audience wanted. He respected the Rasika like anything. And any request that came from a Rasika would be acceded to. He would make it a point to play that song, and that's how he built up a huge Rasika base, and all of his concerts he was such a crowd puller. I remember the instance when in the 80s for SPIC MACAY, my father and Viji, my sister, played a concert in Stella Maris. Much ahead of the show, I remember the gates of the college were closed because the crowd was so much they could not control it. So he was such a charmer. He was able to mesmerize. He was able to produce that energy, and that was there was such camaraderie between the accompanies. He treated them with such love and affection, and giving them appreciation and appreciative nods and smiles. So he had such a fantastic, huge stage presence, and whatever he did was very artistic. His sitting posture, his taking the oil from the, we use the oil for giving the, for the smooth movement of our fingers, and he had designed specific fingering for specific notes, and each one of it was very well thought of. So, and I'll just play one first line of a popular Tillana, Mohana Kalyani. So, apart from the mathematic that is involved, takata janu dim, ta janu dim, ta di re na. It's a decreasing progression of 18. What you don't get unless I tell you, because I have had the fortune of moving along with the composer. He says it is a lion cub walking up the, hopping atop the hill, climbing up the hill, and then turning down to look at its path. So one can visualize. So he was able to translate the visual scenes into music. So that is his greatness. Now, coming back to this concert that we are going to listen to, I am going to give some inputs. Before that, I just want to tell you how socially conscious he was. He wanted to give back to the society. He formed Lalgudi Trust, which is out of his own earnings. It was instituted. He was being awarded by the state government of Tamil Nadu in 1979 by the then Chief Minister Dr. MGR for his contribution to music, and they were giving a monthly pension or a reward of 1,000 rupees for a period of 3 years. He didn't want to use that because he immediately formed the trust and credited all this into the trust, and that's how we are now running this trust, Lalgudi Trust. Now, kalakendra.com has to be acknowledged because we are going to watch the beautiful concert of my guru, myself, Viji, Vidwan Sri Velu Ramabhadran, Vidwan Sri Vikku Vinayakaram, all star-studded. This happened in 31/3/1984. So, Dr. Thoma was the director of Alliance Francaise. He was in Chennai. His daughter was learning from my father, and this was a farewell concert that was arranged for Dr. Thoma was departing from Chennai to take up another assignment elsewhere. So he made sure that he visited the hall. My guru would visit the hall to see. They wanted a miceless concert, so he wanted to make sure that the venue was proper, the size of the dais was proper, and earlier he visited and he made sure that everybody would be able to be accommodated, and we had a full house, as you can see, and such a fantastic reception. The items that he has played is Charukesi Varnam, a beautiful Varnam which is very popular Sri Maharajapuram Santanam, the Sangeeta Kalanidhi legendary Vidwan, used to say that when you start the concert with Charukesi Varnam, it is a winner. The rest of you don't have to worry about the success of the concert. So such a very auspicious start. So it is full of bhava and raga and laya, as was mentioned. The next, I have a small incident. Each concert belonging to this Tyagaraja Shishya Parampara, my guru used to include a composition of Tyagaraja, but one composition in his favorite venue, Sri Krishnagana Sabha, he realized after he finished the concert on the way, it's hardly 10 minutes away from our home. So he realized that he had not played a Tyagaraja Kriti in that concert that particular day. So immediately on reaching, he didn't go to take the dinner. He would just, he asked me to get the violin and he played Aparada Mula Norva Samayamu in Rasali Raga, a composition of Saint Tyagaraja. Please forgive all my sin, my greatest sin, with a huge heart. That is what Tyagaraja has pleaded in this composition. So that comes as a second composition, incidentally, in this video that you are going to watch. So I was hardly 24 and my sister was hardly 18. And we were just, the relationship was Guru and Shishya. You can make out from the looks that we exchange and the reverence and the respect. And reverence to the Guru, reverence to the music. So whatever be the venue, music was the greatest thing. He was, apart from the bhakti to other things, music he worshipped. Music was his idol. So that those things you can feel the energy, you can feel the how he encourages, how he acknowledges. Aparada Mula Norvo, after that, which three persons, it's a trio happening for the first time. So he made it, he's a very great thinker and planner, apart from being a great taskmaster. So he chose Sogasuga Mridanga Talamu. That's another composition of Tyagaraja. So that is that has 3 Oedipus. You can, Swarakalpana can be sung for 3 Oedipus. So that has been beautifully thought over. And Viji performs the last Swaram and how he revels. You can see the joy in the face of the Guru, the pride. You can see it. And this concert again has Chinnanjirit Kiliye. Gayaki Ang they spoke about. So you can see Chinnanjiri Kiliye, Kannamma. Kannamma is being choreographed through his instrument. He's a dancer wielding the violin. So he has given a new dimension to this Chinnanjiri Kiliye. And these are all very listener's choice. And he concludes with Sindhu Bhairavi Thillana, which again is very popular, and all his compositions are being danced to. Apart from in Bharatanatyam, it has transcended that also. It has moved to Odissi and other forms. So this Sindhu Bhairavi Thillana again is very intricate to perform, very breathtaking and heartwarming, and such a mesmerizing composition. So we are in here for a beautiful treat. And if you want to listen to the entire concert, you can find the concert in kalakendra.com. And if you have any questions, I thank you all for this wonderful journey that I also relished as much as you did.
Thank you, Krishnanji. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir, for giving us a great knowledge about your father and your guru. Sir, now Miss Utkalika and Subrajit from Srishti Academy of Management and Manisha from Husur Public School, Chennai would like to ask some question about Padma Bhushan Lalgudi Jayaraman ji. I request you to discuss with the students. Over to Subrajit. Thank you.
Thank you. Namaskar, sir. Sir, my name is Subrajit Soy and I am from Srishti Academy Management, Bhubaneswar. So, my question to you is, please share your experience as a son and also as a disciple of Lalgudi Jayaraman. Please, sir, can you?
Again, I couldn't hear you.
Please, sir, can you share your experience of a son, as a son and also as a disciple of your father,
Yeah.
Lalgudi Jayaraman?
Yeah, I mean, the son, as I mentioned, we had the fortune of being in a Gurukula system, learning the art in a Gurukula system. That itself explains that he was always seen as a guru. He was teaching somebody, he would teach us, he was very strict. And initially, he would come to attend our concerts to encourage us, but it would infuse a great deal of fear in us, not only in us, in any of his disciples. So the guru image, the tall figure that he was, the amount of knowledge and the prowess that he carried, we slowly started realizing, and the more you realize, you get intimidated, and it took some time to come out of that. So he was mostly our guru, but during, as grandfathers or softer than fathers in our daily life, as he mellowed down towards the end, we could see more of the father, and that's how it is. Thank you.
Thanks. Sir, my next question is, please say something about a unique style of playing called Lalgudi Bani.
Unique style?
Lalgudi Bani.
Lalgudi Bani.
Unique style. I mean, it is a very, very interesting question, but it cannot be answered just like that. See, it is a beautiful sense of proportion, a beautiful combination, a judicious mix of laya, melody, and bhava with great attention to the lyrics. You are making the violin sing. It is, I would just, you are understanding the music. I will just try to demonstrate. See, when we are going to watch the concert, we won't be able to stop in between. So I'm going to choose the same composition to make you see that how the violin can speak. சின்னஞ்சிறு கிளியே சின்னஞ்சிறு கிளியே கண்ணம்மா. The great poet Bharatiyar, he's addressing Kannamma, a little child, as he compares it to a small parrot, very cute parrot. So these are the three words, சின்னஞ்சிறு கிளியே Kannamma. So how Kannamma, Kannamma, Kannamma. So like that you call the Kannamma, the little girl, in different ways, so many ways. Kannamma. So it involves thick and thin, making the violin overcome the limitation of being a dumb instrument. It is usually referred to in the olden days as a dumb instrument, but no longer.
Shatabdi, I think we need to start the video, Shatabdi. I think
Yes, sir.
We have to, Abhishek ji, I think we need to start the video.
Sir, we'll
Thank
start
you, thank you. Thank you, Krishnan sir, for that wonderful journey. And I would request everyone to watch the video because it's been very, as he rightly said, very carefully chosen songs. This is impossible for anyone to walk the 60 minutes of this video. Wonderful journey. You will see both Krishnan sir and his sister playing along with Lalgudi sir. So it's a wonderful video. Please sit back and enjoy the video and the music of Lalgudi Jayaraman.
Okay, okay. Okay, please carry on.
Yeah, I also request everyone to please. Yeah, I also request everyone to please switch off their videos and also mute their mics. So we'll be playing the video now.